you need a group of stable people with their own resources to support themselves. Is like there was, people heard about that. It's like as soon as as soon as it popped up, basically there was a number of like vultures, essentially people who come in just to take advantage of the situation, try to steal stuff from people, because there's a lot of unscrupulous people in the world, especially like now that it really is hard economic times for people who were struggling before and now just totally out on the streets, like they're and also with the crazy drug problems. It's like in order for something like that to survive and thrive, it would have to be you'd have to have people that are at least at like a neutral level, someone who doesn't need a ton of help just to be like a functioning person.
Sure.
So yeah, I mean, it's like it really was doomed to begin with.
But here's the funny part. You just like how you said your friend said, "Oh, that wouldn't last even 24 hours here," type of thing. Mm. That autonomous zone. Well, the only reason that went on for as long as it did was because the leadership in our state allowed it to go. So
there was a number of factors, yeah.
So here, I mean, there's always a number of factors. Here's the factor that after assessing all of it, I'm like, yeah, I know how this works, and here's how I think it played out. What's her name? Not the governor.
The mayor?
The mayor.
Jenny Durkin?
Yeah. Basically wanted to have a big FU to Trump the whole time where he said, we'll go in there and we'll clean it up for you guys. Just tell us, just give us the go.
So I think that was more Inslee.
No, I watched the interview. It's the blonde, brown hair lady, a little older.
Yeah, Jenny Durkin,
yeah. So that's the person I'm referring to. I watched the actual interview. And so I'm just, once again, not being able to tell her name correctly. So aside from that, I watched it. It was this smirk. Basically, the whole thing was Trump came forward saying, just give us the yes. We'll come and we'll clean it up right now. That was the tweet energy, okay, that he put it out to Washington leaders, her and the governor.
Yeah, Inslee.
And like every other progressive city that has received a message from Trump, they basically looked at it as a huge FU from them. And they basically wanted to return a big FU back by saying, thank you, but no thank you. We got it. Mm. And basically, she not only said that with that whole sort of attitude, but then also had like a smile on her face and literally said the words, maybe we'll just have a summer of love. And sort of chuckled it off as like a clever answer to the situation that was happening. Mm. And I was like, okay, I see that the leaders in this state really are taking it seriously. Fast forward 2 weeks, a lot of these protesters started showing up in the neighborhoods of a lot of these elected officials' neighborhoods where they lived outside of Seattle.
Yeah.
And they showed up in her neighborhood. Next day, they were cleared out.
Right.
To me, the timing of that is way too good. Way too good. And at the end of the day, it's obvious to me that the substantial amount, I won't say Democratic leaders, but I'll say a lot of the leaders in general are pandering to this type of behavior until it shows up into their own backyard. And then only they decide, okay, we need to take care of the situation because now it's showing up in my own backyard. And it's that typical behavior where it is weak, it has spineless action, and you only do something because your back's up against the wall now.
Word. Yeah.
And so that type of behavior not only is going to expose you for the type of leader you actually are, but it makes you and the whole state look pretty fucking dumb because we let this shit go on for 2.5 weeks, and you could have just cleaned it up. They did it in 2 hours.
Yeah, word. Well,
2 hours.
I mean, 2 hours.
I watched the footage from the helicopter. It took less than 2 hours to clear up the entire place.
Yeah, word. Yeah, I mean, how like at that point, it's not like people were actively trying to protect Chaz as much or Chop as much because it had already been there for a couple weeks. They're like, basically, we're waiting for a reason or an excuse to come and clean that stuff up.
Did you know that over 30 businesses in that area came together and they're suing the city?
I do remember hearing something like that.
Yeah. I mean, you and I both know a friend of ours that has an apartment in Capitol Hill. She just sold it.
Yeah.
And this is a big factor. She's like, yeah, I didn't know I was going to be dealing with tribes of people just putting up their stuff wherever they felt like it. And that's literally where the value of my property came into.
Yeah. I mean,
and so it's like, sure, maybe some people thought they were changing the world, but for the most part, everybody that was around you with actual community stakes, for the most part, you had a lot of support, but just as equally, you had many people like, get out of here.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, so the thing is, it's like there's a huge homeless population in Seattle, there's and the surrounding areas, and there's not solutions. Like there's a shit ton of apartments empty. Like there's all types of resources that could be used to build homes for people or like to help people, and it's just instead used to like go and destroy the homeless camps and like kick people out and like, but there's nowhere for them to go.
All right, thanks for watching this clip from Appropriate Culture. If you want to watch the full episode, go ahead and check out us at appropriateculture.com. You can also check us out on social media platforms at Appropriate Culture. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you guys on the next one.